Hey guys, it's Evan with HBI Auto. Today we're going to do a quick little rundown of IMS issues on the Porsche 911 Boxster Cayman. Keep it short and sweet. It's been talked about a million times, so just want to give a quick rundown on what we do and what we see. So a quick rundown is you had your Boxster come out in 97. So your 97 through 99 is going to be the dual row bearing. On the 911, came out in 99, so your 99 is going to be dual row. Then you have the 2000 to 2001 911, which can be a single or a dual row, and on your Boxster, the 2000, 2001 can be a single or dual row. 2005 is gonna be 997, and it could be a single row, or it could be a non-serviceable, and that non-serviceable is gonna be from 06 to 08. On the Boxster, kind of the same thing. The 05 is a 987, and it's a split year of either a serviceable or non-serviceable, whereas your 06 to 08 is non-serviceable. Serviceable is gonna look like this. This is the Tune RS kit that we use. So your serviceable is going to come with the bearing, flange, hose, and various hardware, and then your non-serviceable is going to come with everything, the same thing except for the bearing and then the stub. The main issue of the IMS is not the bearing itself. It's a ball bearing. It's been tried and true for a long time, just kind of like a ball bearing turbo. The same kind of thing, but on your ball bearing turbos, you'll see that you have it's oil cooled. Well, on the IMS, it's not oil cooled. So what we do is we take oil from the head and feed it directly to the flange, which goes into the IMS bearing, which brings the temps down on average at about 30 degrees, give or take, Fahrenheit. And a lot of other kits have the direct feed coming from, say, the oil filter. You swap out that housing, put on a spin-on adapter. The problem with that is that oil is not cooled by the factory oil cooler. So you're still getting warmer oil. Yes, it's better than no oil, but it's still gonna be warm oil going to that bearing, whereas this kit is going to have filtered oil and cooled oil going to the bearing, which once again, the main issue is heat and lubrication of the bearing. So what we do is we bring down the temps and add lubrication to the bearing, which in turn fixes the problem. Now, on your serviceable bearings, what you're going to do is take the factory flange off, remove the bearing, replace the bearing, and what you'll see is the bearing you replace it with does not have a seal right here. So it's going to allow oil from this direct feed to penetrate into the bearing and oil all this up. Also, on the serviceable bearings, you'll have a stub on there with an O-ring that'll come through the flange, which this flange does not have a seal on it because we use it on something else, but that'll come through, nut, pretty straightforward. On the non-serviceable, this flange is made in on that IMS shaft. So you will not have this, but there will be an O-ring on that flange. So make sure when you remove the cover, replace that O-ring on there because it will leak past through here. And also the factory bearing, unlike this one, will have that shield on there, that cover. So you want to pop that off on the factory bearing so you can make sure that oil gets to it. Other than that, same thing, feed from the head, which is on this adapter, will go onto the head, and it'll screw onto the feed, and I push oil down through to the flange. And pretty simple, shoots oil. You can see the oil squirter right there. Come up through here, shoot oil directly onto that bearing, bring temps down, add lubrication. So basically that's kind of a rundown of direct feed system, why we do the system we do, and the difference in the serviceable and non-serviceable. A couple other things to keep in mind when doing this service is go ahead and take care of that rear main seal. It's right there. The seal goes on dry. There's a lot of people that like to put on some type of silicone or anything like that. Seal goes on dry. You can put the seal in kind of old school way and tap it around. There's room for air there, so I recommend using the factory tool. That way you make sure you get that nice seal. It needs to be flush with the crankcase. If it sits a little inward, it's okay, but just make sure there's a good seal on there. Replace your flywheel bolts if you're not replacing the flywheel and clutch, even though I would recommend it. Replace your flywheel bolts, replace the clutch bolts, all that stuff if you're not replacing the actual components themselves. Yeah, so after this kit's installed, it's pretty much a lifetime guarantee. The IMS will not fail. You might have a leak at some point because it is still a seal on that flange. And you'll see on factory cars, a lot of times you'll think it's a rear main seal leak. When you get in there, you actually see the actual flange seal is what's leaking. You know, as far as knowing if the IMS is done, if there's not a direct feed kit on there, the only way you're going to tell is to pull the transmission off, check it out, see if it's been replaced or not. Have a guessing game without any kind of documentation. To me, there is, a lot of stuff on the internet. The failure rate is fairly low. I think it's less than 10%, especially on the early model years. But to me, I look at this as cheap insurance. You can spend a little bit of money to not have to worry about it ever again. Know that you're not going to be broken down on the side of the road or have to replace an engine or anything like that. So anyways, that's a quick kind of little rundown on what we do, what we see. If you have any questions, please feel free to call or email, shoot a comment below. Thank you guys for